it on our multi-stream services. And let's take a look-see here, making sure we're good. If you guys can see us on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, give us a shout out below, say hello, give us a love. And if you're here on the Zoom platform, say hey, tell me where you guys are dialing in from. I would love to know what part of the world you're checking in from today, guys, because we've got a really special episode of the Virtual Advisor Power. This is episode number 45 of the Power Hour. That means that in just 5 episodes, we are going to be number 50. How incredible is that? And some of you have attended all 45 episodes to date, and you're still going strong. Man, I just want to say thank you so much for being part of Shift Nation. That is our group. That is our tribe that comes out every single week and makes those shift in their insurance or financial services businesses to get to the next level of not only crushing it with the number of appointments that you're generating, the number of sales that you're making, the people you're connecting with, but also the lifestyle by giving you back 100 days a year. Welcome, guys. I'm really excited to have you all here. We've got a really great day. Let's see who's checking in with us today. We got Brad saying hello. Jersey Jack, of course, is always here. Roy from Shrewsbury. Nate from Sylvania, Ohio. Carlton is checking in from the DR. Nice one. Hope it's beautiful over there. Tom from Kenora. Let's see. Tony's saying he's grateful that Zoom is working today. Robert from Montreal. Let's see. Another Montrealer, Greg. He's saying bonjour. Bonjour, comment ça va? We got Maria checking in from Alberta. Vikram from Boston. George is in the house. That's Angela. Good to see you here. All right. We got lots of energy, guys. Who else we got? Novi from the Philippines. Beautiful. All right, guys. Well, hey, I wish I could say hi to all of you, but there's like 3,600 people that sign up to be here today. So I won't have time to do all that, but I am grateful that you're all here and showed up and ready to play full out. So let's start with the first hack I want to share with you guys today. So have you ever noticed on those social media videos where, at the bottom of the video, there's like these little scrolling things, and then they have emojis popping up, and you're sitting there with your regular old phone being like, how come my cool phone doesn't do that? Well, let me tell you about a cool free desktop app that you can use that sets everything up so nice and easy, and will even add those subtitles. Are you guys ready for the first hack today on how to accelerate your video production? Absolutely free. If you're ready, let me see a big ready in the Q&A right now. Give me a big ready, and I'll know that you're ready. And then in the meantime, I'm going to head over to our Facebook group, make sure everything is popping and nice and live there. We're using Restream now. Oh, hang on one second. Hang on. Okay, looks like we are doing well, and we're going to update that. Perfect. Okay, looks like everything's pushing and looking good. All right, so you guys are ready? Awesome. Okay, the tool is called Capwing. I'm actually going to bring it up on my screen and show you how this thing works. So a while back, I did this video, and it was so easy, I couldn't believe it. Can you guys see my screen okay? All right, so this tool is called Capwing, Kapwing.com, and I'm in the Capwing studio. So this here represents the length of my video. The little jagged lines represent my audio, and then I can scroll through this video and kind of speed it up and go back and forth, back and forth. You see how easy that is? So what I did is I started off, and they have this wonderful feature here called subtitles. That's kind of, we could spend a whole training just on Capwing, but I want to show you something. In subtitles, when you upload your video for the first time, what it will do is listen to your video and then insert these subtitles at the appropriate places. And I will tell you, it's pretty good. Like, I would say 90% good. With the last name like Demaray, when I say, hey, it's Jeremiah Demaray, and I start that off, it always messes that up. But here's how cool this is. You can actually go in and do live edits. So maybe I said today and it didn't quite pick that up. I can make those edits. So I can do a quick spell check, a quick scan, and off you go. And if you actually want to do, those bars at the bottom, that's where you can change the bars from like doing it as an outline, as a wrap, as a full background. and you can change the background color as well. So if you want people to really make sure that they see that copy, they can do that. You can make the copy bigger like this. You can make it smaller. Again, really simple, just like you would in a Word document. That's how easy Capwing makes it in order to, do great videos. So I thought that would be really cool to show you guys how that all works. And so that's my first hack giveaway for today, is to show you guys a cool tool that's Capwing. You can get great social media based videos done really, really quickly, really effectively. But let's dive into our agenda today. All right. So we got a lot of great stuff planned for today. Let's kind of dive in here. I'm really excited to share some of these wins with you guys. And give me a sec here. Let's pop this up on the screen. Make sure you guys can see this nice and clearly. And here we go. Okay, so we will bring this up in a hot minute here. There we go. All right, so if you check the agenda right above me right now, we've got 67 ideas to explain what you do. Have you ever been in a situation where people say, what do you do? And inevitably, whether it's in a Zoom meeting, a coffee meeting, face-to-face, a gathering, a networking event, you say financial advising or insurance agent, and you immediately go, why did I do that? Because nobody wants to hear that, right? Let's be honest. We've been in this industry long enough. That doesn't entice anybody to want to do business with you. So I'm going to give you 67 ideas, and I'll show you how easy it is for you to get them. I'm going to give you a neuro hack to help you connect more deeply with people, but also to reduce the level of stress in your life. I know you might be saying, well, wait a minute, I came here for all these growth hacks and I want to grow my business. But have you ever noticed that when you're feeling better and when you're less stressed, you're more creative and you can do more and you see more opportunity? That's why I think you're going to really appreciate this hack. So if you're a little stressed out today, take a deep breath, because we're going to break through it together, my friend. Next, we're going to go into wins of the week. We have an audience poll. I need help from you guys for a brand new logo that we're designing. And I would love to be the recipient of your feedback on which one you like the best. And then we have our very, very special guest, our organizational psychologist, Eve Duke. She is our resident psych right here at Advisorist, who keeps all of us optimized, working at our highest and peak form, and helping us navigate all the world of personalities, especially in the virtual world. And by popular demand, in the Facebook group, the Advisors Facebook group, people said what they wanted to hear from Eve today. And guess what? Eve created an entire training today just for you guys. So shout out to the people in the Facebook group who took action on my poll, because we are going to customize this training entirely for you guys. All right. So you guys ready for the 67 hacks? Here's what it is. Inside the Facebook group, and which is free to join. So I recommend definitely all you guys to join the Facebook group. If I'm fleet of foot in just a moment, I will bring up the link to the Facebook group and I'll drop it in the chat and you guys can join me there. But you can just look us up. It's we're on Facebook. Advisorist is the community that you want to check out. Let me see if I can do this in a fleet-footed manner. Boom, there we go. Join this group, and what you will see is an amazing post. So I shot out a question. The question, it's not amazing because I did it, of course. It's amazing because of the amazing community that you guys are, that provided all of these fantastic ideas. So inside here, I asked a question last week. I said, hey, explain what you do without using the words retirement or money. And I'm just going to bring my screen over to show you guys here. There are 67 different commentaries on how to do that. So if you're looking for inspiration, your fellow advisors who are into insurance and financial planning have all posted fantastic ideas that you can grab for yourself. How awesome is that, guys? Thank you to all of you who are part of this Shift Nation community that are helping each other out. I saw some real gems in here. There was one that I particularly liked because it was the first time somebody here, this is Barry's. I'm going to show you Barry's real quick. He said, we help successful business owners recover 1% to 2% of their past 3 years gross revenue tax-free, no strings. Then we do it again every year after that. I really liked that one, Barry, because it showed that continuity. So imagine you're at a networking event and somebody says, hey, what do you do? Well, I actually work with business owners to recover 1 to 2% of their past 3 years' revenue, tax-free, no strings. And then I do it for them every year after that. And then I would just shut up. I wouldn't say anything else. What do you think if that person's a successful business owner that you want to do business with? What do you think that person's going to do? Be like, how do you do that? Right? So there's a quick win for you guys. Hop into the Facebook group. I see some of you are already joining. Marcel's going to take care of you guys. All right. Let's talk about today's mental hack. Random acts of kindness. Random acts of kindness, or what we like to call RAKs, R-A-Ks. R-A-Ks. Now, if you're already somebody who looks to do random acts of kindness in your community, in your family, in your business, put the word RAK, R-A-K, in the Q&A right now. I'd love to see who is already in this belief system, who already is doing their best to make their world a little bit better just by practicing a little kindness. Awesome. Kevin, I see you. Angela, thank you. We got Colleen, Punette, Jerry, Ken, Robert. See, that's our tribe. These are our people, right? This is who Shift Nation is made up of. Not just people who are out there to make the buck and then leave, but people who are out there to make an impact. And that's why we're so grateful to work with all of you. So here's a quick study that I found from British Columbia that was done recently on a group of highly anxious individuals. They asked them to do 6 acts of kindness a week. And you know what happened? After just 1 month, there was a significant increase in positive moods, relationship satisfaction, and a decrease in social avoidance in socially anxious individuals. Now, I know in the society we live in today, it's so easy to be anxious. We have mental health concerns are on the rise. And the advance of social media has not helped us at all in that area. So it's part of my personal mission to be a force for good in the world, to help bring these conversations to light. So would you like a couple of ideas on what you could do to show that in your capacity as an insurance or financial advisor? Give me a big yes if you'd like a couple of ideas. Hey, maybe you don't need ideas because this is what you do every day, all day. If so, great, keep doing it. But if you're kind of like slow on your racks and you need to up your rack game, let me know if you guys want some. Okay, I see you, Greg. Big yes from Greg. Janice is like, love new ideas. Of course, says Carrie. Beautiful. All right, love you guys. Here we go. Send an out of the blue gratitude email to a coworker and let them know how grateful you are for them. There's a nice idea. Number 2, when you're on a team call, the next team call, maybe you're going to hop on a team call after this, do a heartfelt shout out for somebody that really did an awesome job on a project with a client and the way they serviced. Imagine how you're going to make that person feel when you just give them a shout out. So, most of the time, most people, they jump on Zoom meetings. It's like business crush. What is it? Go, 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 bye, bye. Right? What if you just took a little minute and say, hey, I just want to acknowledge somebody today who really did a great job with our client, and then give them that acknowledgement in front of everybody. Here's another thing. If you already participate in a charity or a food drive, or you take some sort of community action, invite somebody from your work to participate with you. I know we have people in our organization here at Advisors that do amazing things in their community, and they're always telling others about what they're doing. Here's number 4, help others connect by using your personal network and share it with a coworker. So maybe you have somebody in your personal network that could advance somebody's career or just be a great connection. That's a random act of kindness. And number 4, finally, the most underappreciated people probably in any organization are the bosses. People end up usually hating the boss, right? I'm going to say that just by my experience. It's like, I love my boss when I work with him, and then they leave the boss and I hate the boss, right? Even in my life, there's very few bosses I've had that I was like, man, I still love that guy or that girl, right? So, bosses have tough jobs, and again, you got to come from a place of sincerity. This is not about, kissing up to a boss, trying to win brownie points. None of that stuff, right? That stuff doesn't work. And, usually employers can see right through that stuff. But if you appreciate something about somebody you work for, let them know, send them a kind note and say, hey, look, I just appreciate the way that you this. You might not like everything about them, right? I didn't like everything about all my bosses, but maybe the way they do this certain thing you really appreciate, and you call them out on that. I just want to let you know I appreciate you on that. So there's some 5 ideas to practice racks at work today. Come back into the Facebook group later this week and let me know, how did it go? I would love to cheer you guys on, and I know this whole community would as well. All right, so some of you are new here and you're like, what is this? We just did a marketing hack. We just did a neuro hack. We just talked about, the Facebook. What is this? Well, our mission here at Advisors is to help 10,000 insurance and financial advisors double their book of business and take off 100 days a year. We are about achieving your financial goals, but doing it in a way that creates lifestyle and fun and enjoyment. We are not about working to death, okay? So if you've ever wondered who we are, what do we do as an organization? We're a masterclass for insurance or financial advisors. So we're not a lead generation company. We're not an FMO, but we teach, coach, and train advisors how to build their own appointment engines. So you basically get leads for free, and you can turn them on and off like a profit faucet, and have a process that you can control that basically acts like a legacy in your business. So if you're looking for that kind of training, that's what we do every single day. And the Power Hour are free trainings that we've committed to do till the rest of our existence to be a force for good in the industry, right? This is our way of giving back. We know that if we show up and give amazing training, some of you will end up wanting to become clients. Great. Others of you are just here for the free stuff. Great. That's fine too, right? Our mission is to elevate the whole industry, because frankly, the biggest problem in this space is that the training to help you succeed was written in 1965 and has never been updated. And so we're here to change all of that and to raise the bar, which is why we know that, hey, we know we have FMOs, GAs, carriers that come to these calls, take these ideas, and then bring them back and use them. Even competitors too, although I don't really think we have any, but we know there's people out there watching and they come and take what we do and they're like, hey, I found this idea. It's all good. Because you know what? At the end of the day, it helps everybody in the industry grow. So that's what we're all about. Our attitude of abundance. Now, one of my favorite parts of the Power Hour is wins of the week. That's where we get to share your wins with us and ours with yours. And we do this as a community to encourage and show you that people are making a difference out there. So advisors, this is your turn to shine. In the Q&A right now, or whether you're on Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube, what was your personal or business win in the last 7 days that has you grateful and charged up? So since the last Power Hour, last Wednesday at noon, because we do these every single Wednesday at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, what was the great thing that happened in your life? Let us know. And if it was a financial win, right, let us know the amounts, because so far we're up to almost $4 million in fees and commissions earned from Power Hour listeners just in 45 episodes. Pretty epic, right? So let us know what that was. But if it was a personal win, please let us know. Did you reconnect with somebody? Were you able to contribute into somebody's life in a powerful way? What was that? I'd love to see you in there. Now, while you guys, you guys already know this, right? Let's see. Okay, well, I'm going to jump right into yours because you guys are really, really smoking it here. So, okay, $200,000 annuities for Jeff Woodward. Congratulations to you, sir, for the first big win. You placed, what else we got here? Mark placed $80,000 in premium across 4 cases with a new carrier. Very nice. Emma has a win that she's about to have. She says, I'm going to bring cinnamon rolls to my former boss this weekend and let him know how much I appreciate everything they did for me when we worked together. Nice. I like that. That's like a future predictive win. Very nice, Emma. Roxanne, I got 4 new coffee chats scheduled and 2 IUL campaigns in process. Welcome. That's one of our Shift Accelerator members. Good for you. Next, we got Cheryl, got 2 ladies who couldn't get covered. I got them long-term care coverage, $25K in premium. Good work for you, Cheryl. I know they appreciate you. Look at Mark smashing it home, a new client with about $500,000 to $700,000 for annuities and some AUM on top of that. Really nice job. Beautiful. And look at this, Beth for the twofer, went on vacation to Wyoming. I visited my daughter. That's a win. Gained 2 new clients with their friends, double win. Looking at bringing in at about $600,000 in AUM. Who said you can't mix business and pleasure, right, Beth? Well done to you. Well, guys, I'm sorry I don't have time to read everybody's, but that was really inspiring. Big news. Let's switch it up right here. I'm not going to dive into it today, but LinkedIn just imitated and went the route of Britney Spears and just did it again. LinkedIn changed the game last Thursday when they crushed your ability to get 100 connections a day down to 100 connections a week. But you know what? I'll let you guys in on a secret. We already knew that was going to happen. So months and months ago, my amazing team, Chris, Brianna, Kelly, Lindsay, we've been in hundreds of LinkedIn accounts. One of our primary ways we fix the problem of appointment engines is getting advisors into a process called the Shift Accelerator program. And our clients already knew about all of this. So I can only imagine what's going on if you've been relying on, tools that I told you to stay away from years ago, like Duck Soup and Copilot and all those tools. And I told you to stay away from them because LinkedIn hates extensions and they're going to shut this down. And now you have 700% less chance of getting leads and appointments. Well, you're probably wondering, what am I going to do? And I know those CEOs are freaking out as well. But good news is our clients already knew it was happening, and it's all part of the ever-evolving landscape of multi-channel connecting and messaging. Tune in next week when we go deeper into that. You're not going to want to miss that because it is actually great news for those of you that are already in our programs, and this just might save you guys. Okay, I've got a quick poll from the audience. So, oops, this is not the poll I wanted to launch. Hang on one second, guys. I got this poll I want to do with you. And in order to make it really easy, I'm going to create it live on the spot. So let me see. So we got a blank screen. Okay, let me show you guys this. I want you guys to take a look at these logos that we just created. Now, we're looking to create some swag for the industry, some cool swag, shirts, mugs, caps, polos, that represent the ethos of Shift Nation. And Shift Nation is not a membership. It's not something you have to pay to be a part of. It is a way of thinking. And it's based on my #1 best-selling book, Shift, where we taught advisors how to use digital marketing to get their life back and to get more qualified appointments. That's what we're all about. So take a good look at this. I'm going to create the poll right now. Let's see. And take a good look at those. And I want you guys to think, to just say, which logo do you like best? How do you guys like this live stuff on the fly, right? We're just always iterating to great. So I'm going to put 1, 2. Don't put it in the Q&A because I'm not going to look at those. It's going to be too hard to calculate. So if you were to get a t-shirt, if I sent you a t-shirt, if I sent you a mug, if I sent you a water bottle and it had the Shift Nation logo and you were to wear it proudly and say, I'm a member of Shift Nation, these are my people, which logo would you most likely wear? Would you most likely love to have on a mug and hold up in front of the camera, right? Let me know what that is. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to launch it. And let me go to this. Hopefully we're going to, let me do relaunch polling. And all right, here's what we're going to do. For some reason, it's not working right now. I'll go back and grab the polls after, but we'll do that. And we'll bring up Eve and we're going to have a great training now, but just think about those 3 logos, guys. At the very least, I might bring it up at the end and you guys can just put your numbers and I'll kind of get a gauge on it. But I wanted you guys to be the first to see our awesome, beautiful Shift Nation logos. All right. So Eve, if you're ready, let's start getting yourself ready there because we are going to bring you up live. So guys, I'm really, really grateful to have Eve here today because Eve has made such a big difference, not only for me personally, but also for my team. And I've seen our productivity increase. I've seen the level of breakthroughs we've had in just 30 minutes this week. I had a one-on-one conversation with Eve and I just had a massive breakthrough just by her amazing use of questions. And she is a valued member here of Team Advisors as our in-house organizational psychologist. And I love bringing up my team to share with you guys because I know that it's going to help you guys just keep winning at higher levels. So today is all about the inner game. So if you guys are ready to play full out with Eve, I want to see the words inner game in the Q&A right now. Put inner game right there and let us know that you're ready. With that said, we're going to travel all the way to beautiful Revelstoke, British Columbia. Eve, let's put our hands together and give Eve a huge welcome, because Eve, we want to see you here, girl. How are you?
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Good to see you. Thanks so much for being here, Eve. So, let's kind of level set with everybody, Eve. What does an organizational psychologist do? Like, they're very rare just in general, and even more rare in the insurance and financial services space. So what is it that you do?
Everything, I guess, business psychology related. So I'd always just tone it down. I'm like, organizational psychologist. What does that mean? The long form is industrial organizational psychologist, but really it's business psychology. It's people, it's leadership, it's team dynamics, it's group dynamics, it's working with clients and customers, anything to do with people. And I say it's like human resources without all the legal stuff.
Yes. You know me, I hate details and I don't like all the nitty gritty stuff. So that's why you're such a blessing to us. It's the stuff that matters in my world, the stuff that matters the most, which is why I love collaborating with you. So I know, Eve, you have something that you wanted to share. You've got, we got some talking points, and guys, we want you to make sure your mics are on. We're not going to hear all of you, but towards the end, we're going to have a little bit of Q&A. So if you guys have questions for Eve, make sure you get ready, because I do want to be able to help some of you live by having Eve answer your questions. Eve, let me know if you have that ability to share your screen now.
Let's do it. Okay, and share screen. I'm good.
Awesome, looking good too. All right,
we
can see. Yeah, we can see your
Power Hour cover page.
Perfect. We see the virtual advisor Power Hour. That's what you want to show right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right. So Eve, now let's talk a little bit about the genesis of this topic, because I think it's very relevant in why we chose it and why it's just really reflective of what advisors want.
Yes. This is our topic of the day. I couldn't put together a presentation for you without something with Yoda or
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's how to connect with others so that they will want to work with you. And when I think of connection, so it's not how to connect on LinkedIn or Facebook or reaching out, it's how to connect with them, how to connect at the heart with the head and really make a solid impression. And this is virtual, this is in person, this is at a cocktail party, this is at a networking event, but it's real connection that makes people stop and say, I want more of that. I like that person. Yes. Give me more. Can I work with them? How do we do that? That's what I'm talking about today.
I love it. Guys, would you like to have more of that? Who here's missing some of that in their life right now, where, when you're in the business world or networking, maybe you feel like it's not just, it's not landing. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't walking away from you being like, I want that. Yeah. Okay. We're being honest, right? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. We're talking to the right people, Eve.
Okay, perfect. So shall we dive in?
Yeah, let's dive.
Okay. So we know, I think everybody who's worked with you knows the know, like, and trust. All right. If we want to sell something, you need to know, like, and trust. This whole presentation is more or less based on the like. So it's assuming you already know somebody, and getting into that, why it's important is likability is the greatest predictor of popularity and social acceptance in a group for adults, more important than wealth, status, or physical attractiveness. None of those things matter if people like you.
That, you know what that does? Like that screams in the face of all of the like success photo, Lamborghini, selfie style, look at me in my yacht kind of garbage that people don't care about. They want to know, do I like this person? Really? And that goes way deep into the brain. Beautiful.
Oh, social acceptance, the reason and the deeper reason why that matters, which I don't think I need to explain to anybody, is that's survival at our very core. If we're not socially accepted, it doesn't matter how much money we have, how much status we have, how attractive we are. If we are not accepted by society in our group, our brains tell us you're going to die. You will not survive, because the group is how humans have evolved. All right. So I'm just going to give away the secret right away. I don't know if that's good presentation skills or not, but it is the core of it. If you remember nothing, it is all about the other person that you're dealing with. All of it. People are also hardwired to think and care about themselves. The more that you talk about them, and this is an interaction where the goal out of and the deliverable out of this interaction is that they like you. They want more of you. The best way to do that is to make it about them, to make them feel loved, appreciated, seen, heard, valued. Cool.
Yeah, it's so in marketing, we have a term we call WIFM radio. Everybody is tuned in to what's in it for me radio. And I love the way that you said that, because this isn't a selfish thing. It's not that people are bad. It's not that people are selfish. We're hardwired, right? Like, how does this benefit me or how does this hurt me? It's the brain saying, is this going to move me to pleasure or is it going to move me to pain? So the brain is always asking that question. And so when they look at somebody like you and I, they're like, which way is this person moving me towards? Pleasure or pain? Pleasure or pain? So as advisors, it's a really powerful break for you to think of yourself that way, because in your engagements on Zoom or in your engagements in person, however you might do this in front of a room, people are going to make that decision. And when you look at neuroscience and they do brain scans, they actually find that it happens in less than a second. It's literally milliseconds is how the decision is made. So powerful stuff.
Yeah. And it's safety, right? At its core, it's, do I feel safe, comfortable in this situation with this person, or do I feel any sort of threat whatsoever? Is there anything that's firing in my brain that's saying, run away, no, not good for you? And that's all you're trying to avoid in the whole interaction. And this is why, so this is our point number 1. And I don't know if we'll get through all the points, but this is a softball for you guys. And this is start strong. Your first impressions matter so much. And that's exactly what you just pointed out, is that your brain's going to make that decision in milliseconds. Do I like this person? And then everything you're doing from there is building on that, or hopefully not trying to change that. So what do we do about first impressions? The obvious firm handshake. There is nothing worse, in my opinion, than a soft, limp handshake. It's just terrible. I will judge a person instantly on that. But also eye contact matters a lot. And then appearances, they really do matter. If you show up for a meeting or a virtual meeting or a digital meeting, an in-person meeting, looking like a slob, looking like you don't have your life together. And it doesn't mean that you need to wear a suit and tie or a collared shirt, but just together, presentable and looking like good, right? Clean cut, professional. And then this is a big one, which I know, Jeremiah, you work on a lot, and it's elevating your emotional state. So virtually, you need to be so much more energetic than you are even in person, because any sort of, lag that you have or feelings that you have where you're not feeling 100%, that's going to come through. If you're feeling down on yourself, if you're not energized, that is going to bleed through the camera. And that's also, it goes just as well as in person, is just check yourself before that interaction, get yourself in the game, smile, lift yourself up. And then now you're exuding happiness onto the other person. That's the goal.
We could do a whole training on this. And I think my team would be one of the first to be like, oh yeah, it's important to be up when you come to an advisors meeting. But I think that, virtually what I've learned is, and this is just by watching myself and watching my own recordings and talking to you. You and I actually had quite a few conversations about how to show up virtually. And, guys, I'm just going to tell you this, that sometimes you got to put the Batman cape on. Like, you might not be into this at all. You might not want to be showing up 100%, but for the benefit of your clients, of your prospects, of your family, of your why you're doing this, you want to show up 100% and just be, you don't have to, don't be somebody you're not, but be the best version of yourself. And I can remember I was talking to the sales team a couple of weeks ago, and we were discussing about why it's so important to show up at 100% when you're on a meeting with somebody, right? Like, their time is valuable, yours is valuable. So give it your best. And so if you have a team, if you're a leader of a team, I will tell you this, that your team will model the way that you show up. So not only for, helping clients and prospects get to the next decision, but also the way you show up for your team makes a big impact in whether they trust you as a leader or not.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. So next we've got passing the background check. And this is a lot of times before you talk to somebody, you want to make sure either before or after that your social media, your virtual profile is tight, right? Because people are going to look you up. They're going to look up your Facebook and they're going to judge who you are. And that a lot of that might happen in advance, but your virtual first impression matters a lot. So if you have articles that you've written, you want the world to know that you're a professional and an expert in your field. So anything you can do, whether it's on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, on the web, check Google. If you've never Googled yourself, Google yourself, see what comes up. If there's anything on there that you don't want a potential customer to see, it's got to go. You got to get rid of it. Same with Facebook, especially. Yeah. And if you're worried, then just make those things private so other people can't see them.
Great tips.
Yeah. Do your research. So prepare yourself in advance. So this is similar to the elevating your emotional state. In the preparation stage is, if you know that you're meeting with somebody, you want them to like you. How are we going to feed their ego, make them feel important? And that's research them, learn something about them, find out maybe they just had something personal like a child, or they just got a pet, or anything that you can do to show that you're paying attention to who they are and that you are interested and you care about their life, personal or professional. If they have an accolade, congratulate them on that. If they have a win. Flattery will get you everywhere. It really works. Even when they know you're doing it, it still works. Your brain still says, I like that. I felt good.
There's a way to do it in a creepy way, but there's a way to be genuine as well. And a simple formula for that is to say, I noticed that, and then insert whatever thing you noticed, right? I noticed that you won that award a couple of years ago for outstanding community service. Hey, congratulations. We need more people like you. Or I noticed that you follow so-and-so on LinkedIn. I think that person is a phenomenal leader, or I noticed that you give your time to this cause. Thank you so much. We need more people who give of themselves, right? Like, that's it. I noticed that. Thank you. We need more people. That's a nice little formula you guys can use. If you genuinely believe it, it'll come across that way.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. Okay. Number 2. And this is the meat, is listening. So I'm going to talk about how do we listen at a higher level, not a basic level, because that is a huge, huge, huge piece of making people feel heard. And I've got another quote for you. Being heard is so close to being loved that for the average person, they are almost indistinguishable. The need to feel heard is so powerful for people, that if you can do that for them and leave them walking away from the interaction feeling heard, they will love you.
Yeah, it's actually, and so those of you who are more concentrated in a sales role, I will share that this, principle, because it's a timeless principle, that will never die, because humans will never change this part about themselves. We were designed to feel a connection with another human. And one of the things we have designed in us is to feel loved and to know that we are in a safe, loving environment or a trustworthy environment, your ability to stop talking in a presentation, in a sales conversation, or just in a meet and greet will change the game for you.
Mm-hmm.
Those latent pauses where you just let people speak. You notice how I'm intentionally pausing here? It gives that permission. And here's a little something you could try today. The next time somebody said something, if you want them to be heard and they stop saying something, count to 3. And normally the person will assume that you're interested and they will keep going, which is exactly what you want to do. If you link that back to our conversations about the navigator method of sales, you want to find out what makes people tick, grow, what they're scared of, what they're motivated by. And that is such a key principle. That little 3-second hack is a great way. If you naturally find yourself, diving in too fast, talking over people, just count to 3 and watch what happens. Magic will happen.
Mm-hmm. I'm chatty. I put a Post-it note on my desk that says, stop talking. That is there in front of everything I'm looking at in front of my screen. So if I'm having a phone call, I am looking at a Post-it that says, stop talking and listen. And it's my job to listen. So we all have to do it. Any way you can find a hack to get yourself there, it's important. Okay, so let's talk about listening. There are 3 levels of listening. Level 1, focused on ourselves. So if you catch yourself where you can't wait to get your 2 cents in, where you're only listening to something that is applicable to you, something that is important to you, something that triggers your response, you are only doing level 1 listening. So if you find yourself doing back and forth, oh, I can't wait to say something. Okay, they're saying something, but I can't wait for my turn, right? It's that 3 seconds, pause, stop yourself. You are level 1, you are base level listening, which is almost not listening at all. It's all about you in level 1. Level 2, now you're tuned into the other person. You're shifting the dynamic, you're shifting your focus. And I try my best to prepare myself for this in advance. If I'm going into a dinner party or a social event, I stop before and I say, first, you're elevating your emotional state because you want to be likable, but you also want to have good conversations. And this has worked hugely in my benefit. Just practicing this in social situations is, okay, I am going to focus on listening to other people when I'm talking to them. I'm going to focus on taking that small talk and turning it into deep talk. And it is, if you practice it, it'll start to become natural. And I'll tell you a story where this has worked in my benefit. I was so happy, and it works all the time. But I went to a social event, met a guy there, friend of a friend. It's kind of like, whatever. Could easily have been one of those nothing conversations. How are you doing? What do you do? Blah, blah, blah. You're not really listening. You don't really care, right? I think we've all had those. It's like you're making conversation because you're there and trying to kind of pass the time and you don't know people. Anyways, so I went into a deep dive with this guy. He's was a civil engineer. And I just asked him over and over, just kept framing, turning everything he said. I would rephrase it, turn it back to him, ask a question deeper, ask a question deeper. Oh, tell me more about that. That sounds so cool. So it sounds like you do this. Oh, you do this and this. Do your customers need you to do this? So any way that you can continue that conversation to show that you're listening, they've been heard, and you go deeper. I can probably guarantee you he left that conversation having no idea what I do and what I did. But he did leave and said, that is one of the most interesting conversations I've ever had. It was all about him. It was good. And then the bonus is, and this is where I got a win later, that the universe or whatever threw it back at me, is I didn't realize I was networking. This is just a guy in our small community. And I really wanted to join an exclusive invite only Scotch club. And I got invited to the Scotch Club. Usually it takes 2 or 3 times where you have to get invited back before you're voted in. Guess who is part of that club? One of the founding members. His name's JJ. And guess who nominated me on my first visit, the only female in the Scotch Club, first visit? I nominate Eve to be a part of our club.
I love
I was
that.
so happy. I'm like, I'm so glad that I connected with this guy. And his hand went up so fast to get me into that club. Anyway, I loved it. It's my favorite.
This guy felt heard.
Heard. Yeah. It's the power of listening. So that's two. And that's just level 2. That's just tuning in and paying attention to other people. And then level 3, now you're like a Jedi where you're reading and watching the entire environment. Now you're paying attention to the meaning underneath what is said. So you're not just reiterating what they said, but outside of the conversation, you're watching, okay, how did what I say impact them emotionally or on an energy level? Did that intrigue them or no? Like, you're really paying attention to what you say. So stand-up comedians, actors, musicians do this so well. It's okay, what is what I'm doing of affecting my environment? And how can I now be the puppet master for that environment and give them more of what they need or what they seem to want or what they respond to? Or reduce, take away what they're not responding to. And that's good more in group situations where you can watch the vibe of a group, paying attention to, okay, what are different people feeling right now? What are they picking up? What is Bill like or dislike about what Jim said? You know, now you're a Jedi, you're commanding and controlling the environment. And this is a major thing that effective leaders need to do.
I'm married to a woman who can do that in 6 seconds in any room, no matter where she goes. And so I understand that to such a deep level, and it would be fuel for a whole masterclass that we could do together on that. But phenomenal. And people are just cheering this stuff here. Like, you know, Mary saying, thank you. What an awesome story, Eve. Thank you for sharing. Richard says you have an unfair advantage because you're so cute. So there's something for you. That's maybe Richard is flattering you right now. Richard is a student of the game and he just applied what you taught him. So, you know, Ken wants to be part of a Scotch Club, and so does Lakshi Wong. That's great. And then Jerry says he has a Post-it in front of himself that says, "Wait, why am I talking?"
I love it.
Love
yes.
it.
Okay, so here's our summary tips. So you can think of LSD is listening, listen, summarize, dig. So listen to what they say, listen to what they don't say. So this is a big one too. And this is especially if you're working with a client and their needs, right? So we had a customer that was interested in growing, selling his business. Right. And throughout the conversation, he just kept talking about, okay, I want to grow here. I want to be X side of the company. I want to take my company public. I need like different systems and processes, CRM, blah, 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 blah. I knew that he had a 6-month-old baby at home, and talking about his goals and needs and desires. Do you think he mentioned that baby? No, not once. Didn't come up. And that's fine. But his like overarching goals, this is what was at the front of his, it's like, not, I don't need family time. He wasn't asking for time. He wasn't asking for leave. He wasn't asking for that element. He needed, it was this business stuff and the core goals, want to take his company public. That was what he really, really wanted. Couldn't stop talking about it. So pay attention to, what do you not hear? You know, do you not hear friends and family? Do you not hear, I need more time for this? Or do you hear that a lot? Do they manage to slip in constantly? Oh, my grandkid did this. Oh, my wife does this. Oh, I love sailing on the weekends. You know, maybe they're not talking about their business at all because they're checked out and moving on to dreaming, retirement, and anything else that they want to achieve, right? So what they don't say is just as important as what they do say, because that's what comes to the forefront of their mind. And then that's so a part of learning what they want, need, and desire, right? So asking them, you can ask them, what is it that you want? What is it that you need? What makes you feel fulfilled? So arming yourself, preparing thoughtful questions that you know are going to come up, or that show that you're an expert in your field. So that's down at the bottom there, preparing strong questions that are going to start to dive into what their pain is and what they really need and desire. Take notes. I take notes all the time. And then I reiterate that in the next call, next interaction. Using their own words is very powerful and is really important. If somebody said something specific, use that word.
Yeah. Can I hop in on that one, Eve? Because Corey and I on our team were just talking about that this morning. In fact, it's one of the big predicators of success in sales, actually, where a real world-class sales professional does not act like a sales professional. In fact, they act more like a coach, and they behave like a coach more than like, have I got something for you? Step right up here. Like, you're going to love this kind of thing. It's none of that kind of stuff. It's active listening. It's summarizing. Chris Voss is notorious for saying, seems like, sounds like, looks like. Instead of saying what I'm hearing, no, don't say that. It seems like you've been trying to build this company. You and your niece want to go public. What's stressing you out is the fact you don't have a plan to get there. And if you don't get there, you told me that this is going to cause X, Y, Z. Does that seem right? Yeah, exactly. Got it. Yeah. Just acknowledgement, right? And using only their words. So if somebody says, I want to retire happy, don't say I want to retire fulfilled. Don't say you want to retire with lots of money. Don't say you want to retire stress-free. No, they said happy, use happy. That's the word. That's the key for their own brain.
Yes.
I love that point.
Yeah, exactly. And I love Chris Voss. And then that's the get them to say yes, get them to say that's right. Then that is your signal that they've been heard. Yeah. Yeah. And you've got them. That's great. Say, I understand. Let them know that you get it. And then summarize, reiterate what they said. And then ask for clarification if you don't have it. Okay. Just so I'm clear. X, Y, or Z. You said this, could you clarify that for me? Right? So don't be afraid to try to dig deeper and to let them know that's all it is signaling to them that you're trying to dig deeper and that it is important for you to understand their needs. Yeah, I love Chris Voss. So good. Perfect. Okay, how much time do we have? Because I've got a number 3. It's an advanced technique. Or do we're pretty much out of time. So we could do a question. So
this is
and the books.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do a couple of cues here. And by the way, guys, so I got my poll thing figured out, but I do have one poll I do want to relaunch, and that's Are You Loving This Poll? So guys, go ahead and vote. So every time I've had Eve on, you guys have said this has been the best power hour ever. Like, advisors love Eve, and deservedly so. If you guys, okay, man, it's off the charts, like almost 97% yes. And there's like 3 somewhats, and definitely nobody's at nope. So
I feel like I could get those somewhats with my advanced techniques. So it'll have to be another power hour.
Yeah, it'll be another power hour. That's great, guys. Thank you so much. So, I mean, look at this, guys. I'll just share this with you in the spirit of transparency. You guys love this. You absolutely love this kind of training. And I salute you, because this is your tribe. Shift Nation is your tribe. If this is the kind of stuff you love, this is your home. This is your family. So welcome if you found us today, for the first time. I want to let you guys know that we are working on an advanced version of the Advisorist Max program, which is going to be granted to everybody who's already part of Max. It's the monthly membership program. Last week we had Lloyd Lofton, who's going to do sales 1 day a week for you for Max members only. Eve is going to do mindset 1 day a week with you guys. So it's only for paid members at this stage, but she's going to show up, give you guys challenges, Jedi mind tricks, and work on your psyche so you show up powerfully. She's going to be one of our coaches. So every week I'm introducing you to our family of coaches, because once we fully roll this out, the price will go up. So if you're not a member of Max and you were before and you canceled, this is the lowest time it'll ever be. Just go to advisorist.com, look up our Advisorist Max and join, because when we go big with this launch, you won't ever be able to get in as cheap as you can now. I think it's right now we're at $200 a month or something like that. You can check it out. But you're going to have a coach every day to show up and work with you at this level of class. So amazing stuff. Eve, if you've got 5 more minutes, let's help some people. And then I want to do the logo poll. If you guys got to go, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. But if you want to stick around, we're going to do a little bit of Q&A.
Before you go, I'll give you my #1 book pick for this conversation.
Let's do it.
It's probably an obvious one. It's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Classic.
That's great.
Also good audiobook too. Good summaries, but that's one that everybody should read.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you so much. So let's go to, there's just so many really positive comments, but I want to try to help somebody. Okay, I'll give you the question. I don't remember who asked, but it was, how do you give a strong handshake online? So Doug asked that, Richard asked that, a couple of people did. How do you give a strong handshake online?
You know what I do? I smile. I smile and I make eye contact and I say, it's really nice to meet you. I'm so glad we could connect. Smile.
There it is. And you got to show the teeth smile, Eve, because you got the closed mouth, and then you got the teeth smile. The teeth smile comes out. That's what we love about you. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to just bring up the screen, guys. If you could do me a quick favor. I figured out the polling, and let's do this. And Eve, you can vote too, because I know you'll be rocking Shift Nation swag. So guys, let us know, which of these logos do you feel best represents Shift Nation? So is it logo 1, logo 2, or logo 3? And this is, again, what would you be proud to put on a shirt and wear, on a mug, on a polo, right? On a hoodie? When you're working out, you want to represent Shift Nation. You're working on your body, you're working on your mind, you're working on your business. Let us know what you guys think. We got about almost half of the people voted. Wow, that's amazing, guys. Thank you so much. I'll close the polling here in just a few seconds. But Eve, while everyone's voting, can you give us a final send-off, final words of encouragement before we close off today's episode number 45, which is all about creating lasting impressions?
Yeah, the biggest thing you can do, because it takes time and it takes practice, is to check yourself before you enter into a social kind of like a communication. Yeah, it's just give yourself 30 seconds, breathe, get your energy up, and remind yourself that it's all about them.
In the words of the Hip Hop Nation, check yourself before you wreck yourself. I think that. How do we close off a power hour with check yourself before you wreck yourself, son? Just do it. Do it. I mean, they had it right back in the 90s, man. And hip hop generation had it right.
Yeah, it's simple. Put the Post-it up. Just like get in the game. Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, Eve. We appreciate you. We love you so much. Thanks for being part of this amazing, amazing family here at Advisors. And thanks to all of you guys who showed up and played full out. That was today's Virtual Advisor Power Hour. We will keep the conversation going in the Facebook group. What did you love? What were your takeaways? Eve is in the group with me. So hop into Facebook and let us know What did you think? What was your takeaway? What was your big aha? We want to cheer you guys on. We'll see you in the Facebook group until next Wednesdays for another edition of the Virtual Advisor Power Hour. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye for now.